What is going on, everybody? If you're watching this, I want to thank you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, I want to do another 5 underrated, underappreciated, underseen horror movies that I want to just give some light to, talk about, and have the ability to show off to you guys. Um, and like I say, I don't like to overcomplicate things that are fairly simplistic. So we're not going to overtalk it. We're not going to act like it's a bigger deal or something that's more, difficult than it needs to be. We won't get right into it. Let's keep simple things simple. So the first movie I want to talk about is The Last Exorcism. It's a movie that I actually missed. Now this movie came out during my 2010. So right when I was like really 2010, I was what, about 21 maybe? Yeah, about 21. So, I had a lot going on and I just, missed this film and when it came out. But I remember seeing the trailer for it and really thinking it looked good. So I recently saw this and it was amazing. And I know what? I think I didn't see it because I used to be the biggest found footage just hater. I didn't like them. Recently, I've kind of been more open to them, and this one was really good. And of course, it follows, the brief summary. It follows a pastor or a reverend. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not keen on that. Um, on Christian religion, so I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe there is no difference. But he calls himself a reverend, and essentially he calls out. But he essentially is having issues with the faith, and he says, exorcisms are done as a placebo effect. You do them, you make them think that they've had their demons exorcised, and ultimately, that allows them to find comfort and peace. But it's not because they actually were possessed by a demon. And that's what he does with this girl. He has this whole setup and this noise making thing and this thing that makes the bed rock back and forth. Everything to show that ultimately there's a demon there. And he exercises it and he leaves. And but then she shows up at his hotel. And from there it just goes downhill. So it's a really good movie. I thought the performances were really quite amazing, especially from the girl. Um, just a really, really, I would say, amazing film. So, um, if you don't like found footage, I would say I'm right there with you. It's not my favorite, um, movie making method, but give this one a chance. It's really good. The Last Exorcism. Next is a movie that came out not too long ago, Sea Fever. This is a movie about a Terry, get down. About a marine biologist, and she goes on this boat to do some studying and get some samples and whatnot. And the Coast Guard tells the boat, because it's a fishing boat, that there's this particular section that is I don't remember the word they use, but essentially the particular section is off limits due to some dangers that they foresee. And so they go and are told this, but the captain says that's one of their best sites for fishing. Like they have to go there. Um, so he does, and the boat gets stuck by this big giant creature, and like little parasites get on the ship, and from there it's just all hell breaks loose. This was such a good movie. I mean, and I don't think movies are intelligent. Movies that are smart, movies that I mean, if it's take Chopping Mall for example, that's a ludicrous concept, but the movie is equally ludicrous, which makes sense. If it's a ludicrous concept and it's a equally ludicrous film in return, I have no problem with it. I don't mind with things being a little silly or a little, over the top when, it calls for it. But when a film is integrating science and biology into it, that's when I think it's important to be somewhat smart and relevant. And this one definitely was. So, Sea Fever is amazing. Definitely worth picking up. I really, especially the ending. The endings like I don't want to ruin it, but because it's a fairly new movie, only came out a few years ago, so it's not like a movie like from 30 years ago where it's like oh, spoiler alert, like okay, you got 30 years to watch it. Um, but no, this one um, came out, so I don't want to ruin it, but the ending is really kind of it tugs on your heartstrings a little bit. But next movie, I guess that isn't a fair statement, is it? Even if it is a 30-year-old movie, if it's underseen and underappreciated, not everyone would see it. So, touche to myself. But this next movie, Lost Souls, featuring Winona Ryder and Ben Chaplin. I don't know who Ben Chaplin is, but Winona Ryder, of course, is every goth and punk and emo kids. Uh, one of our first crushes when we were teenagers. She's amazing, beautiful, of course, and an amazing actress. But back to Lost Souls. There are some movies that the underseen, underappreciated, kind of for a reason. Lost Souls really, I can't say is a good movie, but what I can say is it has amazing atmosphere. Just the atmosphere in it and everything in it is just so good. That is worth watching just for that. And it's not, I mean, it's a bad movie, but it's not like terrible. It's not, it's just, it's not the best. It's no Stigmata. It's no um, Possession, the one with about the girl that gets possessed when they buy the little music box or whatever. I haven't seen that movie so long I can forget. It had the Ned Stark in there. He was the dad, but no, that is not as good as those movies. But it's still the atmosphere is good. Winona Ryder is of course beautiful and amazing, and she does the very best she can with what she's given. But it's worth her. It's worth viewing, just for the atmosphere, just for that early 2000s nostalgia, because I think it came out either 2000 or 2001, so very early 2000s, but very good movie, worth watching, just for the atmosphere alone. Next one, Theater Bizarre. The only reason I got this was because it has two directors. who I hold very dear. First one is Tom Savini. Enough said. Any horror fan worth the wait knows who Tom Savini is, knows he's amazing. He stars in his short because it's a anthology. So Tom Savini directs one of them. Other one, though, directed by Richard Stanley. Those of you who don't know, Richard Stanley directed Hardware, the killer robot film, which I'm sure I'll do on this, at some point in time, because that's another great underseen, underappreciated film. Hardware is awesome. He also directed, I believe it's called Dust Devil. I have not seen it, but I've heard it's very good. He also directed a Nicolas Cage film, H.P. Lovecraft, based on H.P. Lovecraft. That's Color Out of Space, and that movie is also really good. But and there's I think there's six of them all together, not including the wraparound. But um, what can I say about this? It's again not the best. I mean, some of the it's like it suffers from what a lot of anthologies suffer from, aside from the great ones: Creepshow, Tales from the Hood, Trick or Treat. Aside from them, most anthologies suffer from a imbalance. You have some shorts that are great, some that are just really lackluster, and this one kind of suffers from that. There's some really good ones, specifically the one by Richard Stanley and Tom Savini, Call Me Bias, and yeah, I may be, but but then there's others that are just really, really not that good. And the wraparound, like this girl, and we don't get much of it. She's like obsessed about this theater because she's like drawing pictures of it. She goes there, sits down. There's like this weird doll man that is like setting up each story, and each story is preceded by like a couple like they almost look animatronic dolls, and they come out and they do something that pertains to the story, and then they get into the short. I mean, it really is bizarre, but the wraparound story was kind of not that good. Like I said, the shorts, some of them were really good, some of them not so good, but I still think it's worth a watch. Particularly, I'll go over Richard Stanley and Tom Savini's. The first one is Richard Stanley's, and that's Mother of Toads. That's probably my favorite one. This guy, he's like into esoteric, arcane, ancient like um religions and practices, and he finds this woman that's selling these type of um like jewelry based on that. So he goes out and goes to a house while his wife goes to get, I think, like a to the salon or whatever. They're vacationing in France. So he goes to her house, and there's this very older woman, but then she turns into a younger woman, seduces him, they have sex, and then his wife or his girlfriend, whatever, sees him. Then she gets basically like attacked by toads because she's really like this toad goddess thing. Um, it's fairly interesting. It was fairly good. And the one by Tom Savini is a guy keeps having these bad dreams. Um, and the really weird, just violent dreams of him getting like killed or whatever. And finally, the last one is, because he like beats his wife and treats her bad. And finally, the last one is, you know, him. I don't want to ruin it, but the last one, he tries to wake up from again, but this one's real. And she messes him up pretty bad, put it that way. Like I said, other ones are okay, I guess. But I do want to say there is one that involves killing an animal. So if that is something that really bothers you, this may not be the one for you. But yeah, it's and kind of lingers on it too, which but like there's a reason for it, so it's not gratuitous. But that's still nonetheless, some people they don't care what the reason is, they don't like to see it, so I respect that. But and yeah, Theater Bazaar. I recommend it if you just want to see something that's just weird. Like I said, some of the shorts are good, some of the shorts aren't. Finally, this one is near and dear to my heart, very special to me, and that's House. Actually, I bought this at FYE. Those of you out there that don't even know what that is, because I don't think they're even are they even in business anymore? Didn't they go out of business? I bought this at FYE, obviously many years ago, and to my delight, it had House 2 in there as well. So, talk about House and House 2. For those of you that don't know, House is this weird, quirky, fun little film by this guy. He's like a ex-Vietnam vet, and he's a writer. And his son was like kidnapped many years ago. He go back to the house where his son was kidnapped and to write, and a bunch of weird, this quirky things start happening. Um, I never watched Cheers, but the guy from Cheers, um, I don't even know his name. Um, let's see if it says it here. George Wendt. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Cheers, so I don't know what his name was or his character was in that show. But George Wendt is the name of the actor. Um, he's in there. But aside from that, I mean, you got um, this was directed by, I believe Steve. Yep, Steve Miner. Underrated director. I gotta do a video on him one day. And it's just fun. The quirky things that happen. There's some cool monster effects. There's some. It's kind of weird and out there a little bit, but it's so much fun. And it's so I saw it as a little kid. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just a comfort movie. I can sit back and watch this over and over and over again. Even like the cover, I think is so cool. Look at that. The hand ringing the doorbell. Ding dong, you're dead. I mean, that brings a smile to my face. I love that. And I love the performances in this are all really good. Um, so at one point, if again, if you're my age, remember those fish that you used to press a button and the fish would start singing, and you have like one of those that the fish starts moving around, and it looks like one of those, and he has to kill the fish, and the fish is already dead, but he just starts moving like it's alive again, and he gets attacked by like lawn tools, and like I said, it's weird, it's quirky, but it's fun. It's so much fun. And of course, the big bad is a guy who he left in Vietnam because I guess he was hurt, and he told him, "Hey, just kill me," but he didn't. He ran off and left him there. I guess to be taken hostage by the Viet Cong, and he had a grudge on him. And he's this really cool, like soldier zombie looking. It's so awesome. The effects in here are amazing. The monster look just so cool. And House 2 is really not related at all. I don't even think it's the same house. About this guy and his long lost great great granddad who used to be like a cowboy comes back to life, and At one point in time, one of the doors in the house turns into a portal. They go in the portal, and there's like this ancient like dinosaur land, and they meet this like little caterpillar, but it looks like a dog. So think of like a caterpillar, but like crossed with a dog. It's like the second one's more weird and fantastical, but it's so much fun. It's so good. It is. It is just cheese to the like this 80s cheese. It's just bizarre and weird and just awesome. And listen, I love these movies. They are so nostalgic for me. I saw them when I was a kid. I grew up watching them, both of them, House One and House Two. I think they have a three, maybe a four, but I've never seen them. But the first two, I can vouch for them. They're amazing. If any of these you ever, get or buy, get House. Especially if you like those, 80s films, those fun 80s movies. Yeah, this is like peak. This is the best of the best. So those are my I guess six recommendations technically. But all of them are great. I mean, and their own way. I mean, it's horror. If you're a horror fan, you can find something to like in every horror film. There'll be people out there who hate just to hate or will always find a problem with everything. But I think if you're a true fan, you find whatever you can to like in the things that you're passionate about. And for me, even the ones that maybe aren't the best, I can still find something in there. I'm like, well, the atmosphere is good, or the creature. Look at what's that Roger Corman film? Humanoids from the Deep. Not the best movie, but the creature designs are pretty cool. Um, Even though there's men in suits and it's pretty obvious, still they're cool. They look cool. Um, if you're a fan, you're gonna find the little things that you like, the things that you enjoy about it, as opposed to things that you hate. So stay loving horror. Stay um, positive and friendly, and you know, let's just celebrate what we're passionate about. Celebrate what we love in a world that's devoid of it. So that's my little message today. Anyway, guys, I love this. If you see any of these movies, I'd love to hear what you think. If anyone's nostalgic about House like I am, if you've seen The Last Exorcism, if you've seen The Theater Bazaar, Lost Souls, Sea Fever, um, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a physical media collection. I got, I don't think I have as much as other people, but I have a fair. I have a few. So I love to continue to share them, show them off, and hopefully, if nothing else, just have some fun doing it. All right, be safe, guys. Have a good one.